Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Varun Kumar, registration number 19BIT0058, and my teammate Piyush Sahu, registration number 19BIT0038. And this is our video presentation for Artificial Intelligence Project Component Review 2. So this is our project report. The topic of our project, the title of our project is Improved Artificial Neural Network Model for Accurate Prediction of Short-Term Rainfall. So uh, what we will be building an artificial neural network, uh, which will given a set of inputs like the wind speed, the temperature, and various other factors, will be predicting whether or not there will be rainfall the very next day. So this is our project document. We have uh, we have started with the introduction and abstract of our project. Then we have provided a background for artificial neural networks, which will be using this, which will be using for this project. And this is our proposed architecture. So what we'll be doing is we'll be first starting with importing our dataset from Kaggle, and then we'll be performing some exploratory data analysis on our data to find out certain interesting features and correlations between the various attributes. Then we'll be performing data pre-processing, where we'll be taking care of the missing values in our data and the various categorical values. And then we'll be splitting our data into training and test set, and then we'll be building our ANN model. We'll be adding various hidden layers in our artificial neural network, and then we'll be training this ANN model on the training data. Once the model is trained, we'll be using this model for prediction on our test data, and then we'll be evaluating the model performance using various accuracy measures like binary accuracy and F1 score and recall support, etc. So how our architecture is different from the already existing model is, so most of the artificial neural network models for the prediction of rainfall have used the batch gradient descent approach. Most of the artificial neural networks have used the batch learning approach for training the model, wherein uh, they provide a certain set of inputs at a time, and after those inputs are processed, the adjustment of weights takes place. But we'll be using stochastic gradient descent, wherein the weight adjustment takes place after every row of input. So the drawback of batch learning approach, which has been used in most of the papers, is that there is a chance that while adjusting the cost function, we are stuck in a local minima of the cost function, due to which the accuracy doesn't increase any further. Uh, and that's why we have used the stochastic gradient descent. Since the weight adjustment is taking place after every set of input, we have more chance of finding a global minima of the cost function. Hence, the accuracy will be more. So this was the architecture of our project. And then we also performed a literature survey, where we have gone through several papers and found out various issues with the proposed schemes. Some of the most common issues were like most papers have not considered many interesting attributes which have a high influence on predicting the amount of rainfall and everything. They have not considered those attributes. Another drawback, as mentioned earlier, that most of them has used a batch learning approach or mini batch approach. Uh, but we'll be using stochastic gradient descent, since batch learning has certain drawbacks. Also, uh, yeah, that was some of the drawbacks of that's what we found out from the literature survey. And then we have also summarized our literature survey. One another drawback was that most of the papers have mentioned that the prediction of short-term rainfall is not very accurate when using artificial neural networks. So we'll be attempting to use artificial neural networks for prediction of short-term rainfall. So this is the summary of our literature survey. We have mentioned the techniques used in each of the paper and then the advantages and disadvantages of those techniques. Then coming on to the proposed algorithm. So we'll be predicting the rainfall using artificial neural networks with back propagation. And then instead of using batch learning, we'll be using stochastic gradient descent, which will increase our accuracy by a large amount. And uh, yeah, also, yeah, as explained earlier, since the oscillations in the cost functions will be more, we have more chances of achieving the global minima, hence increasing the accuracy. And we'll also be taking into account several important factors which highly influence the rainfall but have not been considered in the previous models. That was our document, and now we'll be moving on with the implementation we have done so far in our project. Piyush will be going on with it.
Yeah, so as we can see here, first we have tried to run our code in VS Code. First of all, we have installed all the imported all the important libraries like NumPy, Panda, Matplotlib, sklearn, Keras, TensorFlow, and many other. Then we have loaded the data weather.os.csv. As this data is stored in the form of CSV, we have shown you the head of the data, that is the first 5 inputs. As we can see, date, location, minimum temperature. Then we decided to, Varun, can you stop scrolling? Can you go up? Yeah, as we can see here, we have taken data.info. It shows all the snapshot of all the data that is present, like how many values of mean temperature are there, what is the data type, and the rainfall, how many values are there, what is the data type, like float, object, or integer. One, can you scroll down? Then we decided to move on to data visualization. Since the output will be in the form of yes or no, therefore we decided to make a count plot of how many yes values are there and how many no values are there. As we can see, there are around 1 lakh no values, but the value of yes is very less. Then we decided to find a draw a heat map using the correlation. We find correlation of each and every variable with itself and many other variables, and decided to draw a heat map. As you can see here, it was plotted beautifully by Seaborn. One scroll down. Yeah, then after that we decided to work on date. We found that there are around 1.4 lakh date entries, and since the date is in a form of string, so therefore we decided to convert it in form of a date time value, which will be helpful for us to work in. And then this date time value we have converted into a continuous cyclic parameter using sine value and cosine value, so that it will be very easy to input it on artificial neural network. Then we have created a new new column where we have stored the month and day. Varun, can you scroll down? Then, as mentioned before, we have created 3 columns: month, day, and year, and we have put the day, month, year into each column so that we'll be able to work on them separately. And as you can see here, the data frame head, we have changed a lot of data, as you can see. Varun, can you scroll down? Then we decided to describe the data, that is what is the mean, standard deviation, median, 75% max value, so that we'll be able to get a snapshot of data, what is it and how much it varies. Then we decided to see what are the data that are not in the form of integer and float, that is object type. So we see location, wind direction, at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., rain today, rain tomorrow. These are in the form of object, yes, no, and string. Thus, we decided to use an imputer to fill on the missing values. The missing values that were evaporation, sunshine, and cloud, that were numeric and that were missing, we decided to fill them using mean and median. As you can see here, we created 2 imputers, one using mean and one using median. Then we decided to see how many data are still missing. As we can see, around 10,000 values are still missing for wind, gust direction, and many other. Can you scroll down? Since these are missing values and they are object, therefore we decided to drop all the non-missing missing values and convert leftover values into non-numeric data using label encoder. So one can scroll down. As we can see here in the head, all the data has been converted into numeric data, which is now fit for our model. But still we decided to do some again data analysis. We decided to create a plot using PyPlot so that we can see how the data is spread. Can you scroll down? Yeah, so PyPlot has created a beautiful chart of how all the data is spread around, how much data. And as we can see here, then we decided that we decided to create another two columns, 0 and 1, that will hold the value of rain tomorrow. As you can see here, if rain tomorrow is false, then 0. If rain tomorrow true, then 1. Then we decided to find a correlation between rain tomorrow and many other values. As we can see here, humidity at 3 p.m. is the most correlated with the rain tomorrow. Varun, can you scroll down? And in this, we can see various other correlation. Then, Varun, can you scroll up a little bit? Yeah. So as you can see here, we took the we dropped the rain tomorrow as this is our testing set, and we stored this into Y feature. Then we selected the best 15 features using select k best. This will select 15 best feature using score function, and the score function that we have taken is class f underscore classif. This has selected 15 best feature and stored into fs, and then we have transformed this data. Then after this, we have converted, we have removed all the not needed data and decided to make x underscore new. And using this x underscore new, we have decided to build model, which Varun will be explaining.
Yeah. So once the visualization and data preprocessing steps are complete, we'll be moving on to model building. We'll be building our model. So before moving on to the constructing the model, we need to first normalize our data and scale all the values between 0 and 1, because we are using artificial neural networks. So here we have used the fit transform method for normalization, and we have normalized the training and testing both the data sets. And once that is done, we'll be building our model. So the input contains 15 attributes as explained earlier. We have taken the top 15 attributes that will be influencing the amount of rainfall. And this is the first hidden layer which consists of 1024 perceptrons. Then we have the second hidden layer, which consists of 712 neurons. And then we have the final output layer, which just consists of one neuron for predicting whether or not there was a rainfall or not. That means yes or no. So the activation function that we have used for the hidden layer is ReLU, rectified linear unit, and we have used the sigmoidal activation function for our output layer. Also, we have implemented early stopping in case our model begins to overfit on the training set. The early stopping callback will be terminating the training. And as explained earlier, we'll be using stochastic gradient descent. So we have used the stochastic gradient descent optimizer provided by Keras, and we have set the learning rate as 0.1. And here we have compiled the model using the above given optimizer, and then we have fitted the model. This is where the training is taking place. We have run the model for around 200 epochs, which took a few hours to compile. And since model building takes a lot of time, we have already saved our model once it has been trained, and it's saved in the mymodel.h5 file. So we'll directly, instead of training the model again, we'll directly be loading our saved model. Then we'll see how our model looks like. So as mentioned earlier, our model has several layers. These are the two hidden layers, and this is the output layer. Next, we'll be moving on to the evaluation of our model. So we have passed the test data to our model, and we see that the binary accuracy attained in testing is around 96%, 96 to 97%. And next we'll be testing it on our training data, and the accuracy achieved is almost similar. And then we'll be printing out the various measures to evaluate our model performance. We see that the accuracy achieved is 97%, which is very good compared to other models using ANN for short-term rainfall prediction. From our literature survey, the maximum accuracy that we found in any model was around 85% for short-term prediction using ANN. So as mentioned earlier, that was because of the batch learning approach that was being used. So we have used the stochastic gradient descent approach, due to which we have achieved higher accuracy since we have found the global minima in the cost function. Also, some other measures of accuracy, precision value for the false positive is 0.98, and for false negative it's 0.98, and for false positive it's 0.95. And similarly, we have other metrics such as recall, F1 score, support, and everything. Yeah, that was all about our implementation that we have done so far. Next, we'll be deploying our model on on Heroku Cloud, and that is for review 3. That was it from our side for review 2. Thank you.
Thank you.